Good morning and welcome to the Trinity Open Day. My name is Hohenhand and I am the Student Union President. Why Choose Trinity is the name of today's feature, and I can answer that with a little bit of a background information. I chose Trinity because it didn't require me to study any foreign languages in school, but, well, But anyway, that's just all a little bit of crack. The factual matter about Trinity is that there are 120 different societies and over 50 clubs, so there's a huge variety of different activities on campus for students to partake in outside of their academic studies. And you might be wondering as well, why is there a little bit of a shadow on my upper lip? Well, this month is November, affectionately known as Movember, and throughout this month I will be attempting to grow a mustache for a very, very good cause, for men's mental health, prostate cancer, and for, what's the prostate cancer and testicular cancer. Sorry about that. I'd like to introduce our speakers for today. So we have Rachel, we have Ryan, we have Catherine McCabe, the Dean of Students, and we have Ken, who is the CEO of Tangent. So the title of the talk is Why Choose Trinity? And who better to ask than the current students themselves?
So I chose Trinity because I study maths. I'm in fourth year, and maths is a really well-regarded course in Trinity. And I love being in the city centre. I love the campus. There's so much going on. It's so exciting.
Yeah, it's a fantastic buzz every single day. And literally 2 minutes away, you're on O'Connell Street, and even 3 minutes away, you're at the top of Grafton Street. But which side is the top? Is it the far end or the close end?
I can never get it right.
Yeah, who knows really, to be honest. And how about you, Ryan? Why did you choose Trinity?
I always knew I wanted to study at Trinity. I didn't go to any of the open days for anywhere. I think there's just something about the combination of the history of the institution of Trinity, as well as it being such a dynamic city centre campus. For me, it was an obvious choice.
Yeah, and you're from Cork yourself, aren't you?
I am indeed, if you couldn't tell by my accent.
From Tipperary myself, so far and few between. It's always nice to get out of the countryside and move up to the city as well, and just see what is the crack with the big smoke. And you know what? There is a lot of crack. Fantastic. And Rachel, what have been your best student experiences so far?
I would say probably the hockey intervarsities. So I'm a really keen hockey player, and the hockey intervarsities is like an incredible experience because we really get to bond as a team, and all the other colleges are there. But even just in a wider sense, I think hockey has been one of my most important experiences in college. And I think student sport is so important and so amazing here. There's so many clubs you can choose from. It doesn't really matter what your standard is. You'll always find your place, and you'll find people that are like-minded. I think it's an immeasurably important experience.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I actually took up fencing last year just to give it a crack, and the people are great, and it's literally, as you said, all levels in between, from the best to the beginners. So it's really fostering environment. How about you, Ryan? What did you choose, or what have been your best experiences so far?
For me, it was serving as the president of the University Philosophical Society last year. Most people might know it as the Phil. Founded in 1683, it's the world's oldest and Trinity's largest student debating society. It was a fantastic experience. I got to meet amazing people. Some of our guests last year included Anthony Scaramucci, the former Director of Communications for the White House, Alistair Campbell, Tony Blair's former spin doctor. And every week, so I'd be doing those sorts of events and chairing our weekly debates, both of which taking place in the historic chamber of the Graduates Memorial Building.
That's fantastic. Now, I've always heard it's the oldest student-led society in the world, but I've always kind of thought, these people are master debaters. Should I really trust the words they're saying?
Yes.
I mean, there you go, folks. You've heard it first here from Ryan Grunwell. Fantastic. And so what would be your top tips for students when they're making their final CAO applications?
I would say the most important thing is to speak to current students. That's the best way to kind of grasp what student life is really like. I think today is a really fantastic opportunity to get to do that. I think that's probably the key thing.
Fantastic. And how about you, Ryan?
My advice would be join societies, the Phil in particular. I think they're a fantastic way to make new friends with people outside of your course who share your interests, people you might not necessarily meet through other social avenues. And to be honest, there's a lot to learn through societies, I think, that you just don't learn in the classroom, both about yourself and the world around you.
Yeah, of course, because like, with joining committees as well, there's different kind of jobs and roles that like you could actually sign up for, and like you can learn a huge amount outside of your extracurricular, and especially with the like-mindedness of like meeting different people from different backgrounds who love the same thing. Like I know myself, I would join TMT and just like fantastic fun, but people from every aspect of the college community. So a fantastic way to actually just meet great people. Really fantastic, great. Now, Catherine, your turn. As Dean of Students, what do you think makes Trinity so special, and why do so many students choose to study here?
Well, I think first of all, we've heard firsthand what is so good about Trinity from a student perspective. But they're absolutely right. It's a fantastic city centre location. It's historical, and it's got a great mix of old and new buildings. And also, it's continuously developing. For example, the innovative building that is E3, it's being built at the moment. And I mean, that is going to contribute to society on a global basis. So it's constantly evolving. And I suppose, in terms of why so many students choose to study here, it's the best. And it's the best in Ireland. It's 101st ranked by QS rankings in the world. And, we offer academic excellence. We have top programs. We have a fantastic library that really it's hard to match anywhere else in the world. And we have scholarship programs. We have fantastic networks with over 250 other universities around the world. So, and also for students who come to Trinity, of course you're thinking about your career afterwards. And, Trinity is ranked 92nd in the world in terms of graduate employment. And that's really important for students. And in terms of, entrepreneurship, it's first in Europe and has been first in Europe for the past 6 years. So it has a fantastic record. So it's completely understandable why students want to come here.
It's very interesting how you hone in on the kind of the development, because I know the college itself was founded in 1592 by Queen Elizabeth I. And since then, the only building actually surviving, or the oldest building on campus, is the Rubrics, which was built in the 1690s. Yeah. And after that, it'll be interesting to see what kind of developments we'll see, what buildings will stay, what buildings will go. Like Luce Hall was destroyed, or not destroyed, demolished more so, a bit vigorous, but was demolished to make way for a new building. So it'll be interesting to see what parts of campus will be developed in the next 50 years and 100 years to like continuously kind of keep up with that high level that I suppose Trinity expects from its students and the students expect from Trinity as well. So
some things can't go.
No,
they have to stay forever.
We're both in agreement on that one. Great. And what supports does Trinity provide to help students transition from secondary school to the college environment? Because obviously it's a big transition.
Oh yeah.
It can be daunting for a lot of students as well.
Yeah, it is. And I suppose one of the main things that Trinity provides is the 12-week orientation program, and that's from day one. It's a fantastic program because it provides information incrementally. So you don't come in the first week and have everything thrown at you. It's done in phases. And it gives you information about all aspects of college life. It tells you about Trinity. It tells you how to study, how to manage your time, because maybe these are things you have to learn. And it does this in a way that's kind of face-to-face or online. So it's not like you have to learn it and then it's gone. That information and those services are available always for you, regardless of what year you're in. And I suppose other reasons why, or other supports that students are given would be, say, for example, on the first day, they get, I suppose, a student-to-student mentor. S2S is what it's called, and this is a really good program for students because it's delivered by students. It's the orientation delivered by students, so you're not getting my version or an academics version. You're actually getting the truth, and it's really useful because the other things they include in it for students is how to look after yourself, and another thing, how to manage your money, and most importantly, how to live with people who are not family. That can be a challenge. So we even have something about that. And the other thing that students will get is a named college tutor. And that college tutor is with you for the duration of your course. And they're almost like your college solicitor. Now, obviously, you don't need a solicitor. But what they'll do is they have your back. And they're in your corner. So, if a student needs support in any way, has to stand up in front of any committee, your tutor will do it for you or support you while you're there. So there's some examples of how you can be supported in making that transition.
Especially on the tutor system, because it's such a massive governing body. There's so many people and so many parts involved in what is Trinity, and the tutors just know the system inside out. So they're a fantastic resource. Just if you have a question, you don't know how something works, you don't know how to bring something forward or to bring it to the next level, the tutors are just fantastic systems. So couldn't agree with you more on that one.
Yeah.
Great. So we're now into our third week of lockdown. Tear cry. And in making their university choice, many students will be wondering how Trinity is managing through the pandemic and how it's impacted on student life. So, Rachel, to yourself, how do you feel or the pandemic has impacted on student life in Trinity thus far?
Well, I think the pandemic's a big adjustment for everyone. The lectures are all online, obviously. For my course, they're mainly pre-recorded, so it's about kind of learning to manage your own time. But that's a big part of college learning anyway, is kind of knowing that, oh, I need to do this, so I need to do it because no one's going to kind of come and knock on my door and see that it needs to happen. So it's definitely impacted the academic side. In terms of the student life, yeah, there's not as much that we can do in person, but I mean, certainly the clubs and societies I'm part of have been making a big effort. With my hockey club, we have a weekly Zoom training every week with different challenges, and because we're a target Trinity team, we've been really well supported by Trinity Sport. With gym programs and running, so you get some sort of, normalcy in all of this. So I think they're making the best of it.
Yeah, it's all about adapting to the difficulties and then like driving challenges from thin air and then bonding over, even though you might be on your own, you're still doing something that everyone else is doing at the same time as well.
Yeah, exactly.
In a very, very positive way. How about yourself, Ryan?
Well, all of my classes are online, which is one thing. But likewise, all society activity is also online. I think a lot of different societies have really stepped up to the plate and addressed this challenge in interesting ways. And yeah, membership is up. People have been really enjoying making friends through them just like every other year, which is obviously just, fantastic.
So obviously it is a big barrier when you're first year coming in as well, because if you don't have that same contact, it's all about kind of understanding what societies are there. And to be fair, on students' ends, running societies, they've really stepped up the mark to ensure students know that they're there, and there are activities every week as well. I know from the few that I touched base with, TMT being my favourite one, they're really pushing it. Like the reaction they've gotten from first years is really, really positive, even though it is all online. So like it's all about those silver linings. Look hard enough, you'll find them. Fantastic. We'll move on then. So Trinity has recently been ranked the highest in Europe for innovation and entrepreneurship for the 6th year in a row. Ken, as CEO of Tangent, could you possibly hazard a guess? Now, I'm going to say hazard, just, if you happen to know something about it.
Oh, we might know a little thing about innovation and entrepreneurship. So an organisation called PitchBook, they're an independent data research company, and they do analysis on universities all across the world. And one of these analysis, I guess, is looking at student entrepreneurship and how successful students from certain universities have been in terms of raising capital, so raising money to start their own businesses. So yeah, Trinity has done exceptionally well. We're in the top 50. We're the only university in Europe, so number one in Europe for student entrepreneurship. It's an accolade that 6 years in a row we're very proud of. Some of the companies people might be familiar with, like there's a company called Intercom.io, and I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but you've definitely used it if you've chatted online, and that's worth like billions of euros or dollars, right? It was founded by some Trinity grads. But it's not all about big business, Some people today might be looking and kind of like have a challenge in their life, or look at like poverty, or want to solve kind of like hunger in the world. And Tangent is definitely, or Trinity should I say, and Tangent is definitely a place where they can come and look to solving massive problems and big problems. It's not just about creating kind of like a money-making business, although you can do that. But like, for example, we have a really one of the best accelerator programs for students in Europe. And an accelerator program is where students come along with an idea, and they pitch in a competition their idea to set up a business. And if they win a position, they get 10,000 euros, they get access to some really good mentors, and they get access to really good lessons and an understanding on how to create that company. And this is our 7th year running, and the first winner of that was a a lady called Iseult Ward, and she's founded a company called Food Cloud, which is delivering a meal to people in need every 2 seconds in Ireland and England. So she was the first winner of Launchbox from here in Trinity. Since then, we've accelerated 81 companies on the Student Accelerator Program. So typically in college, you come in, you study a topic, and at the end of your 4 or 5 years, you graduate with a degree and you move on to either education or you move on to a job. What we can provide here, and it's a really great differentiation for Trinity, is an option to start your own business and actually leave college with your own organization, whether it's an organization where you want to make money or an organization where you want to solve problems of the world.
Because you're literally taking Trinity students and then giving them an opportunity with tutors and with capital as well to develop their ideas.
Yeah, and there's lots of different ways we work with students. So, like, I guess there's many options in terms of engaging with us. We have modules online. We have modules that are delivered here in Tangent. Well, at the moment, not in person. But we also have, if you have an idea, we have mentors where you can come and talk to Tangent staff, and we will be online if anybody, we are online if anybody has any questions. They can log on to the landing page for this open day, Innovation and Entrepreneurship, and the entire team of Tangent are answering questions about innovation and entrepreneurship. So if anybody's interested, they can log on and find out. Just again, I have an idea. Our logo, our name is Tangent, Trinity's Ideas Workspace. And the whole idea is that you come here with an idea and take that idea and turn it into some type of reality, whether it's a business that makes money or you want to make a change in the world. We'll help and guide you on that journey. And
it's not just for business students either, it's for all students in Trinity, is it? Or
it's for all students, and it's and that's the whole thing. Actually, it's a really good point. We're not part of any school. Tangent is a separate entity from all schools, and that was made. That was a strategic decision when it was being formed. Medical students, pharmacy students, everybody, art students, all have ideas about businesses or things that they want to do. Actually, this year's Launchbox winners are 2 pharmacy students, and they developed a marketing company. So nothing to do with pharmacy, but they had an idea about kind of renting space on your bikes, right, for advertising, and they created a company around that. We had another guy who set up a platform, a music platform, or it's more of a cultural platform around urban Irish music. So it's a place where people who are interested in urban music in Ireland can connect. They can share information. They can find out where gigs are happening. They can find recording studios and all the equipment, and just a platform from a cultural perspective. So any idea there's no such thing as a bad idea here in Trinity. We'll help you shape that idea into some type of enterprise.
That's fantastic. So I may join myself. Yeah, I didn't actually know that. That's a wealth of information right there. Wow. I'll be chatting to you afterwards. I've got a few ideas. I can promise you I have no ideas. Fantastic. And how does Tangent actually then prepare Trinity students for the world after university? Now, you've kind of touched on a lot of bases in terms of like the tutoring and the capital, but outside of that, like what kind of skills can students glean from? So it's a really important question, and it's like we live in a world at the moment where a traditional education in normal times, or I shouldn't say normal times, in the past, you would have come to college, got your education, gone and got a job, maybe 1 or 2 jobs for life or something like this. But we live in a whole different world from my time when I graduated from university, and we see changing kind of like the ways people work. Like, I don't know if people have heard of the gig economy, for example. So it's job after job after job, if you want. And I guess what we teach, the skills that we teach here in Tangent we call them soft skills or transversal skills, wrapped in innovation and entrepreneurship. So that idea of being able to look at change, being able to look at kind of like an ever-changing world and not be afraid of it, but kind of like look it in the eye and go like, I see opportunity there, and it's like, bring it on. It's kind of like, and those are the skills that companies are looking for as well. As I said, the one and done idea for life doesn't exist anymore. So, we talk about artificial intelligence, we talk about the gig economy, we talk about lots of different innovations that are happening in the world that are changing the way we work. So companies are looking for graduates that come out of college going like that are
adaptable, that are resilient. They know how to pitch an idea. They know how to communicate an idea. They know how to look at technology and go like, actually, I know what we can do with this in this company. So it's in our conversations with industry, it's not just about creating entrepreneurs and creating business here in Trinity. It's about being adaptable to an ever-changing world, and it's complex, and there's opportunity in that complexity as well.
You've put all my fears to rest right there. Because obviously, like even from a student point of view, sometimes thinking critically or outside the box or trying to analyze, it can be very daunting, even just to back your own ideas. So skills like that are incredibly important, because at the end of the day, it really is just kind of like, as you said, like facing the world in the eyes and just be like, I'm ready for this, and I'll take it on.
Yeah, confidence. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's like, especially for students that are maybe in a specific sector or a specific domain, studying a specific topic. Come on in here to Tangent, and we'll give you those kind of like those skills to critical analysis. We talk about radical collaboration as well. It's like how to engage with an engineering student talking to a medical student. It's like, you know, it's a little bit of a different language, but how can we create something magical? How can we make a change?
That's fantastic. Wow, great work on Tangent. So, like I said, a wealth of information. So I'll be chatting to you afterwards.
Very good.
Now, finally. Always love to end on a cringe. I know, jeez. If you guys were to describe Trinity in 3 words, what would you describe them in?
I would say vibrant, formative, and unique.
Fantastic.
Civic-minded, cerebral, fantastic.
Civic-minded. Sorry, that's...
It's a hyphen.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. Catherine?
Oh, I suppose the first one have to be excellence. And I think after Ken, you know, opportunity, for sure. Trinity's ambitious, and we want our students to be ambitious, I think. And I think connectivity or connection would be the third one.
Fantastic. And yourself, Ken?
These are all great words. I even wrote mine down just in case. I was like, I was influenced by the panel here, but transformative. I think getting an education in Trinity is it changes your life, you know. Exciting. Hopefully students listening in today have heard how exciting life can be here in a really fantastic third level institution. And then independence, you know, it's like people are leaving home for the first time possibly, and what a better location in Dublin, in Ireland, in the world to come to be independent, you know.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Just in case you're wondering my 3 words, just go crack. Really,
just good crack.
You know, it's just a solid place, like just great people. Thank you. I've been known to be a very profound person, you know, in my days, my many years. As you can see from the whispers here, white hairs, folks, white hairs. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for partaking in this morning's panel talk, and thank you as well for anyone who's streaming in today. Be sure to check the website extensively. There are loads of different opportunities to chat to professors and lecturers, to look at videos that kind of explain all the different details that are out there, the courses and the clubs, societies, all of it is up on the website. And I implore you, have a bit of fun when you're searching for your future, because it's very important that you get it right. Not at the start, you know, you can make mistakes here and there, but just remember, have a bit of fun and you can't do anything else. Thank you very much.